Welcome back. We are coming to you live this morning from the George W. Bush Presidential Center in Dallas. The former president and the First Lady will be joining me later this morning live as we look back on the legacy of his mother, Barbara Bush. Meanwhile, earnings season is ramping up. American Express, Blackstone Group, General Electric, Procter & Gamble, just a few of the names left to report. Got a big week this week, and of course we are waiting on Morgan Stanley out any minute right now. That should hit the tape. As soon as it does, we'll bring you those numbers. And joining me right now to talk investing and earnings right now is Oxbow Advisors Managing Partner Ted Oakley. Ted, it's great to see you.
Good to see you, Maria.
Thank you so much for joining us. The earnings period, do you see that as a barometer of allocating money?
Well, to a degree, but a lot of times high earnings come right at the peak. And it's the finish, not the beginning.
Okay.
We'll have to see on that. But, over the years, I've seen a number of quarters where that was the best quarter and things were over after that. So it's hard to say right now.
Well, that's interesting because they're looking for, when you look at the estimates out there, 19% earnings growth for the first quarter.
Right.
Which is pretty strong. I'm going to watch that. Whether or not that's a peak, that's a scary comment. So you've got $1.6 billion in assets under management. How are you allocating it?
Well, we're allocated about evenly allocated between very, very conservative fixed income all the way up to equity, 100% equity, and a large percentage in between in what we call a high-income strategy that we run that covers a wide variety of things that pay interest and dividends.
So, okay, that's what I was going to say, dividend payouts. You're sitting on more than 20% cash, you just told me in the commercial break, 23% cash. Is that because you are worried about valuations?
Yes, partly, and partly because we can't find things we want to buy. That's one of the problems. The second thing is we think the markets are generally expensive just in general, the total market. So we've had a 9-year run here. A lot of things are expensive, and we don't feel like we can get what we want to find right now.
Meanwhile, you're seeing a number of companies benefit from the tax cut plan, and I wonder if you think there's a long runway on that to come in terms of the impacts from lower taxes. Let's face it, going from 40% to 21% is a big deal for certain domestic companies. And according to the Wall Street Journal, the combined first quarter earnings for Goldman Sachs and the 4 major national banks has increased by more than $2.5 billion total. The banks have had a pretty good run here.
They have. I think the thing about the tax situation, though, is it primarily benefits big corporations, C corporations. And if you look at what drives the economy, it is primarily consumer. And so we've misplaced that, I think. I think that's the problem. Yeah, they'll get the numbers, but I'm not certain they'll raise anybody's wages with the money.
It looks like, Ted, Morgan Stanley's a double B. Let's get to Dagan. She's in New York. She's got all the numbers. And Dagan, you got pretty good revenue and earnings here, right, on Morgan?
Indeed. Morgan Stanley out with earnings per share of $1.45 a share. That is 20 cents more than the expectation. The revenue coming in at $11.08 billion, again above the estimates of $10.36 billion. It'll be interesting to watch this stock react. It's up 3% in pre-market trading. But to Ted's point, a lot of these valuations very lofty, highest level since 2007 going into these earnings numbers. Just like Goldman Sachs yesterday, great numbers. Stock fell more than 1.5% because it's not buying back stock in the second quarter. Again, investors looking for perfection, and it's hard. Perfection's hard to deliver. I will leave it at that.
Well, you're right. I mean, the stock is up 2.5% right now. Ted, your thoughts on Morgan Stanley?
Well, the day's not over yet. And if you look at
that's what Dagan just said, pretty much.
If you look at the other stocks from last week, J.P. Morgan and Bank of America, the others, they had the same situation.
Yeah.
Everybody was excited. But when you get news like that and the stocks don't come bullish with it, you need to take a look at it.
All right, we're going to watch that. Ted, good to see you.
Yeah, thank you
so
Maria.
much. Ted Oakley.